Today we're going to learn all about polyrhythms. We're going to start off with the 3/2 polyrhythm. For you to be able to understand this whole concept, you need to know what the word polyrhythm is talking about. This is something that is very overcomplicated in my opinion. Even if we search on the internet, the first thing that comes up to explain it will be something along the lines of this. I'm going to read this to you now. So polyrhythm is the simultaneous use of two or more rhythms that are not readily perceived as derived from one another. It sounds like something that's written by a solicitor, doesn't it? Right? I have no idea, right, how to even go about explaining it in those words, right? It's so much easier than that, polyrhythms. One thing for polyrhythms, right? There's always two rhythms being played at the same time. Now, for us as drummers, very often, marching drummers especially, that's going to be our right hand playing one rhythm, while our left hand plays another rhythm. But we could be marking time, so our feet could be making one rhythm, while our hands are playing another one, all right? But it's two. If I just show you some polyrhythms, it's much easier than trying to explain it in words. If I play my right hand on the rim of this drum, and I'm going to do one noise that takes a certain amount of time, right? So it's going to go ba, 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 ba. So we can all feel that, right? That's the pulse at the moment. Well, in that same space of time, so between now and now, my left hand's going to play a different rhythm, and it's going to play three notes in that same space, all right? So it's going to go. So my right hand is going 1, 1, 1. My left hand's going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now that, although this terminology is not often used, that's a 3/1 polyrhythm. What we normally talk about is the much more difficult ones, but for most people when they see that, it's like, oh, well, that's easy enough. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well then, what if my right hand then changes its rhythm? What if it's playing two notes now? 1, 2, 1, 2. So now 2, now 2, now 2. So between the time that I'm saying now, I'm going to play 3 in my left hand. So now, my right's going like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. My left's going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, that's more what we know and we talk about when we're talking about a polyrhythm, okay? So that was the 3/2. We can get 4/3. We can get all sorts of polyrhythms, all right? 3/2 then. I normally teach this by using phonetics, words. I'm going to teach you exactly the one that I've just done. I'm going to say the word salt and pepper. So salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper. Now, before you do that, there's one other thing that I want to make sure that we understand. When we play a polyrhythm, as marching drummers particularly, we can just hear it as a full rhythm because we're very good at hearing rhythms and playing them. So if I play on the snare drum, this rhythm, you copy me. I'm basically going both together and then left, right, left. So now as marching drummers, we can hear that as ba, 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 ba. So that is a rhythm, right? That's not a polyrhythm. We only actually use it and call it a polyrhythm when what we're doing is we're really inferring that there's one pulse or the other pulse. So if I put my right hand on the rim and play the same thing, for most people listening now, it sounds like it's going now, 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 now. That's the downbeat, that's the pulse. That's what they're going to dance to, mark time to. So with that one there, I'd use the word salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt and pepper, salt, pep, salt and pepper, salt and pepper. Right, I can spin that around, I could go the other way around. Now it's starting to sound different, because now you're hearing the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now it sounds like a slow down. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We could do cold cup of tea, cold cup of tea, cold cup of tea. Not difficult, I've heard. Not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. But it certainly now feels like it's going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Whereas if I switch the hands back around, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I can physically play the same rhythm, but the person listening to it feels a different pulse. Now, it may be that I'm also feeling the different pulse, or it may be a bit of an audio illusion that we're creating to make them feel that way, okay? So if I switch while I'm playing it now, so cold, salt and pepper, and I'm going to switch, and what I'll do to switch, I'll play the same sticking, but I'm just going to move my left hand to the rim. And suddenly, now I feel the threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now the key to you being able to get this is being able to do what I'm doing here. Say the words. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now that's how we're going to define our polyrhythms, okay? Well, there's two dimensions. We've got the threes dimension, we've got the twos dimension. For us as marching drummers, there's another step that we need to be able to do. And that step is being able to use our feet as one of the rhythms, the pulse, and our hands playing the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my feet quite loud here. What I suggest doing is finding something that makes a lot of noise with your feet when you're marking time to be able to hear this. And I'm going to play or. I'm going to start with that one, all right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cold cup of tea, cold cup of or salt and pepper, 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 salt and pepper. Now I've got the other one. We could do threes with the feet. That's going to be crazy. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then salt, pepper, salt, cold cup of tea, cold cup of tea. And as you can see, what I've done for the notation is I've just put the feet at the bottom of the line and the snare drum, as it normally would be, on that second line. So that would give me this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my feet are the pulse, the threes are the pulse. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Or I go slow with my feet, or not slow is it, but medium kind of pace. And my hands are playing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Oh, it's a bit quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So da da da. Maybe switch hands. Eventually, maybe do hand to hands. Double strokes. So there's all these different things that we can do all within the polyrhythm. So while our feet are doing the twos or the threes, and our hands are doing the opposite, we can then throw in the idea of different patterns. For us as drummers, we sometimes see these done just with our hands, but morphed a little bit to sound maybe something like this. All I'm playing there is the same pattern. My right hand's doing the threes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. My left's doing the twos. I'm bringing the twos up. Now I'm actually flamming it a little bit as well, so it feels like I'm going flam, right, left, right, flam, right, left, right. If it was a perfect polyrhythm, it'd actually be double stop. What was a bad one? Double stop. Right, left, right, okay? So you're going to see polyrhythms done in actual passages of music. But most often, you're going to see them done in relation to our feet. In a passage of playing, we might be playing some paradiddles, and then a big ending might suddenly be, and that would be our polyrhythm at the end. So, really important for you to be able to understand them. There's lots more polyrhythms, so go and check out videos on those other ones, but the 3 over 2 is crucial.